What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Generations Forward, the podcast where we explore life, legacy, and impact. The choices we make today that shape the generations to come. Again, I am your host, Ceranise. So today I am joined by someone very special to me, someone who I have known my whole life. And I am excited to welcome our guest for today. Let's help me welcome our guest for today's Coach Ceranise. Ceranise, how are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Well, hello, brother. Hello, Saranes. Hello, everybody. Hello, all the viewers. Like my brother said, my name is Ceranise. I go by as Coach Ceranise. And in the hospital, they call me Nurse Ceranise. But I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. I'm in the beautiful where I'm at right now. It's just been raining, but it's nice. What can we say? You know. I'm very excited to be on your show tonight. I know we've been talking about it, but finally we got to do it. So I'm very excited to be here. So
Absolutely. So again, it is a pleasure to have you. We've been talking about this for quite some times, but again, life happens and we could never make it happen. But today, we have the chance and the opportunity to, to talk, and we'll get to know you a little bit. Okay. All right. So
absolutely.
again, Sarah News, welcome to the podcast, and I want to say thank you very much for being here. And before we talk about your career, right, and the things that you're doing today, how about you tell us a little bit about you and who is Ceranise, and outside of the titles that you carry today or day-to-day operations, who you are? Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Absolutely. I'm very sure, of course. Who I am. Who is Coach Ceranese? Coach Ceranese is registered nurse. I'm serving in the US Navy. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I am an entrepreneur. I like to call myself nurse entrepreneur, military entrepreneur, meaning I'm a nurse, I also an entrepreneur. In the military, also an entrepreneur. And I'm someone who believes growth is pretty much very intentional. Anybody who knows me, they know I talk about intentionality a lot and also purpose. You got to live a life on purpose. And my passion, as the person that I am, is helping people become healthier, become financially wiser, and spiritually stronger. Pretty much that's me in a nutshell.
Well, that's I like that very much. Well, thank you very much for sharing. And let's go ahead and backtrack. So you're someone who's very intentional about life, and that is, I believe, that's the best way to live life, right? So intentionality is the best way to go about living life. And one thing I know, there are a lot of people, and among us in life in society that kind of let life happen to them. And there's someone who says there are three type of people in the world. You have people that makes things happen. There are people who watch things happen. Then you have those of people who wonder what happened, when they have no idea. And I like the idea that you are very intentional, you are self motivated. All right. So obviously, one of the things I think conversation that we have been having is that you've been talking about a lot about becoming 1% better, right? So what changed? What has changed over time that kind of push you down the path of wanting to get 1% better? So what does that entail to you?
That's a very good question. I like that you asked me about the 1% better. So, and then going back just a few steps of what you said about some people like to watch things happen and some people they make things happen. And you have a large amount of people that say, oh my God, what the heck just happened?
Exactly.
So for a long time, I was in the category of people that watched things happen until a few years back when I'm like, you know what? I can't just stay on the sideline watching things happen. And I realized life is happening with or without me. And I realized every second that passed, it's getting me away from the younger self of who I used to be to that older version of myself. But that older version, one day I woke up, I'm like, you know what? I want to be the not just older version of myself, but that best version of me. So with that said, a few years, I was gonna say maybe three. Well, I started the process, the journey like a while back. It's really, I first woke up and realized that, hey, I'm just sitting here watching things happen. I was kind of complacent as a registered nurse. And I'm like, but every day I wake up, I feel like something's missing. I feel like I was created for more. God has more for me and I wanted more. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation. If you've ever been in that position where you feel like, man, there's more. I want more. I'm hungry for more. So it was always like that for me. And then I've been working at it. But what really got me to wake up and focus on that 1% better version of myself every single day, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, physically, like all of the what makes me who I am is after I listened to this very popular guy. His name is Ed Milet. He wrote that book called The Power of One. So when
Yes.
I've listened to him and I've read the book, I purchased the book even before it was released. It was a release version of it, and
Hmm.
that's what really woke me up to become that 1% better version of myself. So ever since, and even though I was kind of ish doing it, but this year 2026, I told myself, girlfriend, this year is the year you actually gonna take action and become that 1% better, meaning very intentional. From the time you go to sleep, you being intentional about setting the time you're gonna wake up, the time you're gonna go to sleep. Wake up, be intentional. Wake up, pray, go brush your teeth. Everything gotta be very intentional, and that's one of the things that the military teach you. Is like, and sometimes I tell people, I love the military because how you do anything is how you do everything. With the military, everything is done exactly the same way every time, all the time, everybody, every time. So with that saying, it kind of helped build that discipline I already had in me that I didn't know I had. It's only made it better. But you asked me what has changed. Last month, I started reading this book. I don't know if you can see the title.
Yeah. Who are you really, and what do you want? Yep, I got it.
Yeah. Who are you really and what do you want? So I've been reading this book. It's really helped me to because oftentimes in life we know we want something, we know we need something, we
Hmm.
don't really know what we want, we don't really know who we are or what we want. And then the best way for you to know who you are, especially if you know you want to go somewhere, you have to realize where you are right now and where you
Yeah.
came from. And then the last thing I'm gonna say on that question is that we all have GPS. We all have used a GPS on our phone. When you
Hmm.
sit down before you take on a journey, the GPS, when you open the map, it asks you where you're going. And then before it can take you to where you're going, first it needs to identify or recognize or ask you where you're coming from. Where are you?
That's right.
Right now, where are you? Are you on Mars? Where are you? So it
That's
won't be able
true.
to tell you where you're going unless it determine where you are right now or where you're gonna be starting, where your starting point is. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm really focusing on who I am, who I really am, and what do I really want in life.
Perfect. Well, yeah, I'll be honest with you though. It is not easy being intentional and living life on purpose or being intentional is not easy. You know what they say, if it was easy, everybody would do it, which is why I can appreciate the conversation for today because nothing life it's just like a vehicle, right? So if you don't being intentional by steering your life into the directions where you want to go, you're just gonna go anywhere and everywhere, right? So it could possibly fall off a cliff. Why? Because you're not being intentional, which is why I can really appreciate the conversation for tonight because what it does, it giving us the tools and the strategy that we can use to live a life of intention. Now, I know you've been talking about the book, so you give us the book and how you got started yourself. So, was there like a specific book or moment that inspired you? Now, I know you talk about the book itself. So, what was the moment itself that kind of push you to make that change? Be like, hey, if I don't live my life on purpose or with intention, then I'm gonna fall off a cliff. Can you is there something that you can share with the audience that kind of be like, hey, I remember that wake up call, that one day, that pivot moment in my life that be like, hey, I better start living life on purpose or with intention.
Good question. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. I mentioned the book. It calls The Power of One More. A lot of you probably have heard of it. You probably heard of Ed Milet. He's one of my
Yep.
favorite guy. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I was with him in Norfolk, Virginia, at an event, and it was amazing. And hearing him talking about the book, about the story behind the book and his life and his dad and everything, every time, like, I'm not kidding. And I will tell you, but anybody who've ever sit in the room or heard him speak about this, you cannot go without having to cry. So people were
Yep.
like, almost the whole room was like crying. And I heard it before and I couldn't stop. Like water was just like coming out of my eyes
Wow.
because he everybody can relate. What he talks about in the book, it makes you realize the power of one more. Let me give you just a little phrase. Maybe one of our, like in the future, maybe we can have a whole session, a whole episode just on like my little review on the book.
Right. Right.
Maybe,
Right.
who knows? So one message that stuck with me is is the idea that you are one, just one more decision, one
Yeah.
more effort, one more conversation, one more day of a consistency away from changing your life. So,
That's
with
true.
that said, whether it's one decision about changing your job, about making that one decision about going to the gym or drinking more water, whatever it may be, you got to tell yourself just that one more.
One more.
So one more of anything, one more phone call. You never know. You
Yep.
just was it you? You just told me on a conversation like 2 hours ago. The senator who just died, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the power of one more phone call, one more, like it make me appreciate life, appreciate myself, my relationships, and people a little bit more, knowing that the power of one more minute, one more
One more.
second, one more hour, one more day, one more vacation, one more
Yeah.
cruise. Who knows? One
One
more of
more push up.
anything.
One more minute. Yeah. It's about just
One more
always be like
twist,
one more.
one more anything. So with that said, when you really put it into that perspective, and if you guys have not followed him, he doesn't pay me, he doesn't know me to say that, but all I can say, it will change your life. Go on YouTube, type The Power of One More. You can get the book. I have the book.
Hmm.
It's in my library right now. I don't have it. I only have this on my desk. The Power of One More, and then just listen to the podcast. Listen to his video, and if it doesn't get you emotional, then I don't know. But it's really real because he put it into real perspective about the power of that one more. So that's really what triggered that turn or ignite the light in my mind and my brain
Hmm.
about being intentional about life. Whether it's one phone call. Be intentional about calling people. It could be your
Yeah.
friend, your parents. Like I just attended this event during this weekend, and this gentleman, he said he's been very intentional about his how his relationship with his parents.
Yep.
He said they're 80 years old, 81 and 80. His dad is 81, his mom is 80. And then he said he realized maybe he has 4 more years with them.
Hmm.
Imagine if you only see them on Christmas. That's only four more
Yeah.
Christmas.
That for more Christmas. Yeah.
So he said what he started doing is he record every conversation he has with them. He record the conversation. He said eventually one day, no longer here, he's
Yep.
gonna
Yep. Yep.
use AI to put those conversation into reality with
I
him
love
having
that.
that
Yes.
conversation with them. And then he said he's very intentional. He talked to them every day. He talks to them all the time. And then his conversation now are more purposeful, intentionality. That's my favorite word in the dictionary.
Hmm.
Intentionality. So he said he's
Intentionality.
very intentional because he doesn't know how many more phone calls he got, you know?
Yeah.
So now he said he visits them more often. So he doesn't know how many more years he's gonna be spending with them. So with
Absolutely.
that said, I really hope each and every one of us can really, if what I'm saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense, go and read the book or listen to the a few
Yeah.
clips on YouTube, and then it's gonna really put things into perspective for you.
Absolutely.
I hope I
Absolutely.
answered the question.
No, you did. You did. Now, given that, again, Ed Milet, you are not the first person. I love the idea that you are being, you're actually being intentional. You putting his advice or the whole premise of the book into everyday practice. Now, given that you wear multiple hats, you're a wife, you're a mom, you are a business owner, you run businesses, not just one, but multiple businesses. but more importantly, you're also a active military professional as well. How do you balance? How do you bring? How does the power of one more? How do you apply that in all the different areas? Again, you wear multiple hats. How does that help you?
Good question again. How does it help me as a professional? If anybody been active duty military, you know they own you 24/7, right? So
Really?
they own you 24/7. So pretty much being there, you have duty hours, like it calls being on duty. My
Yeah.
duty time as an RN is I work 7 days every 2 weeks, meaning
Hmm.
1 week I work 4 days, another week I work 3 days. So
I got you.
that's my time. I'm on duty, 12-hour shift in the hospital. But other time I get to be at home. So when I'm at home, I try to be very intentional with my family. Even when I'm not, when I said I'm at home, I do go to work and come home. Like, let me make
Hmm.
it clear. I have people that talk to me. They're like, "Oh, you get to see your family?" Yes, I get to see my family. I have a family.
Yep.
So, yes. But how do I get to keep the balance between being um active duty in the military and also taking care of my family, run my businesses? It's intentionality. Like, for instance, it's just waking up. I know there are 24 hours in a day. I just s- set the hours, set the time. Like, I
Hmm.
know I leave my house a certain time to go to work. While I'm at work, I'm at work. Like Jim Ron said, when I'm
Yep.
at work, I'm at work. When I'm home, I'm home. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah. Yeah.
this podcast with you, and that's what we're doing. So you just have to know there are 24 hours in the day. You set each time and hour or time frame for a certain task.
Yep.
And once the time reach, I don't have an alarm clock that say, "Hey, oop, time up, time's up, go do something else." But you already
Hmm.
set it up in your mind, and you have to have a calendar. So I make a calendar my best friend, meaning I kind of put things into calendar and I tell myself, this time and that time, this is what you're gonna do. This is how. But side notes, I will tell you, for as long as I can remember, I usually prioritize people. I prioritize my family. I usually prioritize business and things before myself. It
Hmm.
was recently, I'm like, wait a minute. You have one life.
Yeah.
You have one body. This journey called life,
Hmm.
God gives you this body to carry you through this journey called life.
Yep.
Your journey on earth, the only way you're going to be able to travel to this journey, or the only way you're going to be able to go through this space or place called earth is if you're in a body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have one job is to take care of this body,
Yep.
whether it's my spiritual body, because remember we three. We are spirit, we have a soul, and we reside in a body. So I
That's
have to
true.
take care of the spirit so that the spirit, I got to take care of the body first. All of them need to be taken care of. But the way, what I told myself, girl, you got to take care of this body so that the soul can have a place to reside, so
Hmm.
that the spirit can still stay, live on this earth a little bit longer. Okay. So I got a lot of people to impact their lives. I figured if I'm not healthy, if I'm not well to be able to go through this process called life,
Hmm.
then we're screwed. So I started taking better care of myself, meaning I'm drinking more water, I'm eating healthier, I'm going to the gym. I'm One thing I need to focus on more now also is getting more sleep.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, how I'm able to do all that now, yes, I can take care of all that, but I figure I gotta prioritize me, take care of me. Once I'm all put together, I'm all well, then I'll be able to attend to everything and everybody else.
Great. I love that. I love the answer because, and I'll be honest with you, I love the fact that you said when you are, I think I've heard this from many people, and I have yet to put that to really make it a priority in my life. Wherever you are, be in that place, right? So that's where it comes the idea of intentionality and the idea of growing and also be intentional and also growing, 1%. Again, the whole idea of the podcast today is 1% growth and how that can really help you grow. Now, we talk about the how you have been able to balance, multiple hats, your role as a wife, your mom, again, business, again, your professional, your career. by training, by education, by vocation. Um, what does becoming one? Again, we're not fully made. Even talks about, life is it's about a process. Even though it's a process that we have to be intentional about it. What does becoming 1% better? What does that look like for you from the day to day? And I think in some way, shape, or form, you answer the question, but I'd like for you to kind of, what does that look like? What's the 1% in different areas of your life? Let's say, at home, for example, because I believe our primary role is a family God has entrusted us to raise and to care for and to lead. How does that look like for you? Becoming 1% better.
Okay. Becoming 1% better. Let's say at home on a day to day, when I wake up in the morning, becoming 1% better is doing something extra every day, something different to help you
Hmm.
grow. What that means is, let's say, uh, going to the gym, even though if you went yesterday, like today, I went earlier today.
Yep.
So even though it feels like you went yesterday, you went again today, your body receives something extra. So that's
Yeah.
1% better. Meaning,
Yep. That's
if
true.
let's say you're working one muscle and you keep working it every day, believe it or not, as long you keep showing up for yourself, it's getting stronger every
Yeah.
day.
Yep.
Let's say yesterday was hard, like let's say a week ago, it was hard lifting uh 10 pounds weight, and you keep doing it. By next week, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to lift it. You know, your heart rate, whenever, like if you do cardio, when you work your heart, let's say your heart, you develop what they call stamina.
Hmm.
You develop that stamina, and then your body is able to do more of that with less resistance.
Yep.
So on a day to day at home, I would say reading. Let's say you read 10 pages a day.
Hmm.
That's something extra.
Yeah.
One thing I've been doing, thank God, and that's part of becoming 1% better, is I'm reading this book. I mean the Bible. I'm reading this Bible plan I've been following. Bible in 1 year, 365 days.
Yep.
For as long as I can remember, I usually don't reach July without having like 2 months past due.
Yeah. Yep.
Missing. Thank God I'm on track.
Let's
Today is
go.
July, whatever, and I'm on track. So that's
Yep.
the intentionality. Doing something extra, something more every day, showing up for yourself. Say, okay, w- you know, it's just doing something better to improve yourself. If you
Yeah.
used to watch too much TV and you want to build something, say, okay, I'm going to reduce the amount of television I watch. You stop reducing it, and you replace it with something else. It could be maybe if you're somebody who likes gardening, you
Yep.
start growing stuff. That's you getting better and that.
Yeah.
Reading. Like me, like I said, I'm very intentional. Like my hair. Every day I water my hair, I spray it. So that's me being intentional every day. So by me being intentional about it, my hair is growing healthier because I'm feeding it. I'm feeding my mind. I'm
That's
feeding
right.
my hair, the scalp. I'm feeding everything. So that's the intentionality. Believe it or not, as long you keep showing up every day for yourself and you're doing something better every day to the better self of you, you're growing 1% better. You may not realize it, but change doesn't happen big chunk at a time.
Yep.
Real changes is one little habit, one little something you do every single day. You keep doing it. Before you know it, it becomes a habit and it becomes part of you.
That's true.
So all I can say is whatever you desire to become, head in that direction.
I love it. I
Whatever
love it.
you do not desire to do, like you don't want to do it no more, turn your back against it, go the opposite direction. That's how you
Absolutely.
become 1% better,
That's it.
you know? And if you want to lose weight, you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in one day. You can say, my goal is to stay consistent. I'm going to lose 1 pound a week. It's doable. Anybody can do it. 1 pound,
Yeah.
not 10. So how you gonna do that? You're gonna eat healthier. You're gonna eat less sugar. You have to be intentional. I'm
You
sorry if
have
I
to be
said so many times.
intentional.
I can't say it enough. So it's just those little changes you make. That's why I said 1%. If you become 1% better every day, you don't, in 365 days, you don't become 365 percent better.
No, but
You
yeah,
know.
I love that. I love
So
that. So, listen, I am so happy that you had the chance to join us today. Now, we are coming to an end with the podcast. One thing that I wanted to say, we do have this, question that I like to ask. This is the question before the final questions. I guess I would say. So, the podcast itself called "Generations Forward," and given what you do, both from a service to the country, you serving our nation, and also the way you serve families, and again you have spent really all of your professional life serving people. Let me ask you this. I have to ask, what does legacy mean to you?
that's a beautiful question. A lot of people talk about legacy, but what
Right.
legacy is, what you leave, the impact you make on people, and then what you leave, because there are different legacies. Some people say, "Oh, I want to leave a legacy for my kids." You don't
Hmm.
just leave a legacy for your kids. You can leave a legacy in them, because
Yeah.
legacy has to
Ah.
be able to carry over, carry on.
Yes.
Okay, so legacy, in my view, without having to research it, I can tell you that for free. Legacy is that you establish something, create a platform, you build it to the point that not only you be able to pass it on when you pass on to life, but you be able to leave it behind for
Yeah.
generations to come. A legacy could be not just you. They say, "Oh, that person is a legend." A legend leave a legacy. How do they do that? Through the way they've lived their lives, the impact that they have made into people's lives, and then by all that, they have what came out of it is the legacy. Meaning
Okay.
the not the outcome, but what I wanted to say is maybe the outcome, you know, the fruit of what they created while they were here, while they were living,
Hmm.
the impact, that's the legacy.
Gotcha.
So you
Okay.
get to leave that in people, the impact
Perfect.
that you make.
All right. Lovely.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to say it was really a blessing to have you here on the podcast. But before you go, you are, we value your service and also how you have been able to apply the idea of the 1% better every day. Um, what's the one piece of advice you'd leave with our audience with today? So, what's the one piece of advice or nuggets, when it comes to living life on purpose with intention? What would that be?
Awesome. Awesome. I love the way the conversation is going. If I were to leave one thing for people, here's what I would say. If like you said, if I was to leave one thing, I would say don't wait until everything is perfect before you start.
Yeah.
Don't. Because oftentimes people wait so long that they either lose interest or things happen. So start where you are. If I would, before I elaborate on that, I would say my suggestion is this: start where you are,
Hmm.
use what you have, and commit to becoming just 1% better every day. Not
That's it.
10%, not 5, not even 2, just 1%. 1 year from now, today is July. What is today? July
July 12th.
July 12th, 2026. If
Yep.
you become 1% better 1 year from now, you'll be amazed of how far you've come.
Yep.
I promise you this much, and I promise you that for free. So with that said, don't wait. You're never too young and never too old to start. And I will say that that's not my closing remark, because I don't know if we about to end, but
Hmm.
I took that trading class this weekend. And in my class, we have some 88-year-old people, 75-year-olds. There's that lady, one lady, she's 88 years old. There's that other guy, 75. You're never too old. Get
Never too
started.
old.
Just get started. Whatever it is. 1% better, y'all. 1%.
1%. Look, listen, you have dropped a lot of good advice, nuggets. And I think for the listening audience, I am hopeful that you're going to take time to listen and apply. Don't just listen to the podcast, but go ahead and apply because it makes no sense if you're just going to listen and not going to apply. So at a minimum, if you're going to take 1% of that's been said today, just be intention, make a decision to improve life by 1%, one phone call, one everything. So right, so the idea is one. So if you used to make one phone call, 100 phone calls, make one. Just say one more one. Just always think about wherever you are. Just go one. That's it. And I think life gonna get a lot better. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and come to the closing remarks because again, we could have this conversation for way more time, but for now, that this is all the time that we have. Let's go ahead and bring this to a close. What's the closing remarks we have for today?
Well, I'll keep it short. Thank you very much. I'll say to our audience, it's having being on this podcast is really, really a pleasure for me. It really, tell you the truth, guys. You guys want to know the honest truth? This is really a dream come true for us, me and my twin brother.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're making this very professional, but we are ourselves. We can be
Yeah.
ourselves in everything that we do. This is really a dream come true because we've been wanting to do this for a while, for a long time. But again, like he said, time happened. But after me and him, we were talking about the power of one more. Whatever that you desire to do, you want to do, just do it. Just do it. So we decided, hey, we've been talking. I know you guys heard that at the beginning of the podcast that we've been talking about it, but we never took action.
You know,
So
took
just
action.
do it. You don't have to wait till things are perfect to get started. But my remark, final remark is this: whatever you've had in your heart, you've always have in your heart to do, just do it. And if you are new to this channel, if you new following this my brother's channel, please subscribe. Keep showing up. Yeah, right. Show up for
Yep.
yourself. And then the power of one more. Keep showing up. One more day, one more podcast. Never know that one podcast that you don't show up for could be that one podcast that could change your life or somebody else's life. So
That's
my
it.
remark is subscribe, share, and keep showing up. We love you. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. And me and my brothers very appreciate. I will tell you, we have gazillion things to share with you in the near future
Sure
between
will.
me and my brother. And if you keep showing up, you'll find out a lot more wonderful, beautiful things about us. This
For
is
sure.
Ceranise for
Absolutely.
Ceranise. Let's keep connected. Follow me on social media. My handle is Ceranise. Find me Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, you name it. Find me, and then we can be friends. We can be friends.
Let's go. Listen, again, thank you very much for joining us today. Fam, if you enjoyed this conversation, listen, go ahead and do me a favor. Hit the like button, give us a thumbs up. That's one. If you have any comments, leave comments below. Leave comments. Matter of fact, you tell me what you like, how we can improve. I don't mind if you have something negative to say. Just be respectful. It can be negative, but just go ahead and be respectful. Leave a comment below so that's what we're gonna have. So again, I hope that you're gonna join us on the next episode. This episode really focus on your personal story and the 1% better mindset. So that gives people a reason to return for future episodes on health, wealth, and leadership. And we also going to be talking about entrepreneurship. So again, it's about the 1% mindset, and we're looking forward to the next episode. Until next time, keep getting better 1% at a time, 1% a day, 1% a month. So just whatever you have to do, keep growing and you're gonna be going further in life. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, I'm Ceranise. God bless. We'll see you next time.